Welcome. Today we're going to be looking into the history of the winter solstice and different festivals in different cultures around the world. Okay, I switched to a toque because my hair's unruly, but the cap was hiding my face. The winter solstice. Witches, Christmas, Santa Claus, the darkest day of the year. Many things happen around this time, but the thing that we know about the most is Christmas, or anyways, that's what I grew up knowing about. But what are other things around the world that people do on the winter solstice? Let's take some time to look into that. In Scandinavia, the solstice was celebrated by burning a Yule log and feasting and drinking. A big log would be drug in from the snow, lit on fire, and people would feast for as long as that log burned. Hence, the Yule log. In Iran, the birth of the sun god Mithra was celebrated on December 25th. And I believe this is where Christmas kind of propagated from, is the theft of this Mithra celebration. Next, of course, we have Christmas. Everybody knows it as a time of gift giving, eating food, getting together with family. It wasn't always this way, though. Back in the day, they used to celebrate Christmas by crowning a Lord of Misrule. And this Lord of Misrule was usually someone who was lesser, so to speak. They would maybe be homeless or a beggar boy. And this person was in charge for the day. And the homeless were strongly encouraged to go harass the rich for food. And for the whole day, if the rich didn't give up their food that the poor had the right to, there were consequences. Now, this particular tradition, I think we should bring back. Another cool tradition celebrated on the solstice is Inti Raymi. This is celebrated in Peru and South America and is originally an Incan tradition. Now, a really cool thing about this one is that because they're in South America and they're on the other side of the equator, their winter solstice is in June. So Inti Raymi is celebrated around June 21st instead of December 21st. A lot of Inti Raymi is spent in the way you might expect it, with food, family and friends, and parties. But they also get dressed up in traditional Incan dress. And at the end of the festival, they parade the Inca, which I can only presume is Inti, their sun god, through the streets on a gold-covered anda, which is like a palanquin. So I just think this is a really beautiful sounding and really interesting festival, and I'd love to see it someday. Now, two other festivals celebrated around the winter solstice are Toji in Japan and Dongji in China. Now, I might have said those completely wrong, and I apologize. The reason I sort of bring them up together is because they both center around the idea of yin and yang. Yin being the dark side of the year, where the days are getting shorter and shorter, and yang being the light side of the year, where the days are getting longer and longer. And so you have this yin and yang of the year, and you're directly in the center on the winter solstice. And so both of these, Toji and Dongji, both kind of centered around this idea of the light and dark, yin and yang. And I thought that was really cool. For Toji in Japan, they focus a lot on health and well-being. Now, one of the ways they promote health and good luck is by taking a yuzu-yu. A yuzu-yu is a bath with a yuzu in it. A yuzu is like a little citrus. So they'll put whole yuzu citrus fruits in their bath, and that will promote health and good luck. And another big way that they celebrate Toji is by going to the onsen and enjoying the hot spring. And for food around this festival, they really focus on health, and so eating vegetables is a big part of it. And of course, I've never been to Japan, so if any of this is wrong, please let me know. But I think it sounds like a very peaceful and enjoyable festival and a great way to spend a winter solstice. Now, for Dongji in China, they celebrate in a lot of the ways you might think. People take time off work, spend time with their families, and eat a lot of good food. One of the things they seem to eat is a rice ball, a congealed ball of rice. And this is supposed to represent the cohesive family unit, or togetherness. And they'll put this rice ball in a sour soup or a broth, and they'll eat the rice ball with their broth. And like I mentioned before, a lot of this festival is centered around yin and yang. It's the idea that the darkest days are over and the sun is coming back. Now in England, something they've done for the last 30 years that's kind of interesting is burning the clocks. That's what it's called. Festival of Burning the Clocks. This is an anti-consumerist, anti-commercialistic holiday, and people come to the beach in Brighton. It's specifically a Brighton thing, and they come to the beach and burn something. They'll have paper lanterns. It's a whole thing. And it sounds kind of cool, but I can't help but look at the photos and think a little bit. Can't help but look at it and just think it's a very white person thing to do. And you're probably like, hey man, who are you to talk? And it's true, but it's just an observation. Now, a little closer to home for me, there's a people group down in Arizona called the Hopi or Hopi people. And if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. And they celebrate something called Soil or Sowl. Now, on this day, they get together and tell stories, sing, dance. And I just think that sounds really beautiful. I would love to see that and get to participate in that. The idea of traditional storytelling is something I really love. So hopefully one day I'll get to participate in something like that. Now there are a bunch more cool festivals surrounding the winter solstice, including Lohri in India, and this celebrates Surya, the sun god. There's also one called Midwinter in Antarctica, and this is celebrated on June 21st, same as Inti Raymi in Peru. There's also Newgrange in Ireland, and I'm sure many others that I've missed. I am hoping to do a deep dive into a lot of these, but I'm thinking that'll be a next Christmas sort of thing. I really love looking into this sort of stuff, but I also have a full-time job. I hope everybody enjoyed this, and if anybody has a tradition or festival that they celebrate on the winter solstice, let me know, and I would love to hear about it. So thanks everybody for watching.